Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to another video from GT Sports Mates, where you will be joining us from Red Bull Ring. We've done a few of these ones lately, I will admit, but they're good races. They're very good races. So we're going to get on now, but as you can see, 7 laps. We normally do about 5 laps, but this one's a 7-lap race, so we're going to see how we get on over the next 7 laps. Straight away into turn 1, the fellow Brit there in the orange Aston Martin came through like a wrecking ball. He found a gap that wasn't there by making it himself, so well done to that guy. We're getting a really good start to the race. Ignoring that though, coming down now to turn number 3. This is where carnage often happens, and there's a slight tap to my rear there. Nothing major. Back on track we go with the traction down, looking to try and catch up with the guys up ahead who have started to break away already, actually, the front 4 runners. Now, for anyone who is new to the channel, you will notice that there are 2 cars. Myself here in the Ford Mustang, and now the one we're looking at is John, another driver here for GT Sports Mates, who is in the Subaru Impreza. Now, John at Red Bull often gets very good results. He's very good at this track, and to be fair, the track is actually suited very much to the Subaru, because whereas other tracks tend to have a lot of very long straights, even though there are a couple of straights at Red Bull, they're not particularly long, and that's good with respect to the Subaru, because again, if you're new to GT, for instance, and you might not have even played the game, or if you haven't tried the car, the Subaru does lack in the top end speed department compared to a lot of the other cars, especially the cars ahead of John here as we come through turn number 1. Now, the front 3 cars there are much quicker in a straight line, and you'll see that throughout actually this race, that they just start to pull away a little bit on the straights. But luckily for John, the straights aren't all that long here, and in the corners and under braking, the Subaru comes into its own. Look at the distance that John has just closed coming up to turn 3 there. Now, unfortunately, he got a little bit sideways, and he's going to lose the ground he's made, but he won't lose it for long. You'll see how he just closes that up now, coming down to sector number 2. In turn 4 here, probably the hardest corner at Red Bull, if you ask me. That little downhill right-hander, the curb basically rolls away from you there, and it's so easy to just find yourself off into the gravel. Very difficult corner indeed, but John and the front 4 runners there are actually doing a really good job so far over these couple of laps we've had, and doing a very good job not going off into the gravel. One thing I will say is you may see, and there we go, you may see and you will see penalties at Red Bull. You will always see them here, because even though the track, especially in these 2 corners, look at the runoff there, massive runoffs in the last turn 9 and turn 10. However, the track limit, and John picked up another half second there, the margins for the track limits are so narrow, it is almost impossible to get around this track at speed without picking up a penalty. It's so difficult, especially in such a good strong lobby like this one that we were in. Everyone's really got the game on, they're really racing hard. So yeah, penalties you will see. Now, luckily, the penalty will come down fairly quickly. As you saw, oh, someone's gone. I think the front runner has just spun out, or has been spun out. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but John now up onto the podium. That's 1 car down, and he's on the podium, so to speak, as of yet. Still a long way to go, but let's see if he can hold on to this podium. He's done well so far to keep up, and now it's paid off for him. So well done there to John for keeping it clean. And by that I mean not doing what that guy did by having a little bit of a spin. But back to these penalties, as you can see, John's still got a 6/10 penalty, and the guy in second does have a penalty, but it's not showing how much he's got left. So he's probably not got much left of that penalty, to be completely honest. But you will see penalties quite a lot here at Red Bull, but luckily they do run down really well, specifically coming into turn number 3, which is the hairpin. From around the last turn there, turn 10, onto the home straight, I think the guy in first went a little bit wide there. I don't think he's going to get a penalty for it, he's going to get away with it, but that is one place that you will definitely see penalties going through turn 10. Coming up to turn 1 now, again, very difficult turn, but John is now starting to close the gap to the guys ahead, but just watch this now, they just start to just disappear a little bit on him. as the straight just opens up in front of them. But then watch this as you come into turn number 3, which would be that little kink there they've just gone around to turn 2. It's stupid, isn't it? But back to the race. That was turn 3 there, and look at the gap now. It's come down a lot, significantly actually, because the brakes and the turning capability of this Subaru. So John really has to drive out of his skin to make sure that these two up front don't pull away too far, because if they do, he's going to have an even harder job catching up. Now, myself in the top right corner there, in the Ford Mustang. The Ford Mustang for this track, but for me anyway, I absolutely love the Ford Mustang, use it all the time. This track is not one that's suited to it. There's so much in regards to cornering and braking in this track that's where the Mustang does suffer anyway, and it's kind of amplified at this track. So I'm actually, for me, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job so far. I've been consistently in 4th place since pretty much the beginning. I know there's a couple of cars I had to pass, but from the opening laps I've been in 4th, and I've been keeping up fairly well, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty happy so far with the performance. And we're on lap 5 now, so like I said at the beginning, we usually do 5 laps. This lobby was a 7 lapper, so you know, if this was a usual lobby for myself, I'd be doing really well for me anyway. Now John just picked up another penalty there for turn number 1, and you'll see it just disappear now coming into turn 2. 8/10 of that penalty just gone like that in one corner. So like I keep saying it, I know penalties, they will come, but you will get rid of them here a lot easier than at other tracks. The front two now starting to just pull away. Oh, wait a minute, no, one of them has gone off the track. That is exactly what I was talking through. John's up in 2nd. I'm now up into 3rd place myself. Long way to go, 2 and a bit laps left. It's a long way to go. We saw how fast the guy in that blue Aston Martin thing it was. He's very, very quick, very good at this track. I'm going to find that difficult to defend if he manages to catch up, which he probably will do. I'll be honest, I am not the best at this track. We have done a lot of races here, and it's just one of them tracks I just constantly seem to struggle with. I am getting a little bit better, which is good, not just for me, but for the videos. But yeah, it's just one of them tracks that is always kind of like niggling at me. There's always something that I either mess up, or something I forget, like a braking zone or something. I just completely bypass it and end up flying off track. Which is why I'm all the more impressed with how I've done so far in this race, I'll be completely honest with you. But yeah, I was just saying, the guy in 4th went off at turn number 4, the downhill right-hander. The road just kind of runs away from you into the gravel. It's so easy to end up there. I just almost lost it there coming out of turn 2. Not good, especially with the guy behind me. Decent enough gap as of yet, but that can all change with one little mistake like that. You know, I could have easily spun out then. No one's fault, just, you know, lack of talent. that's my argument right there. But yeah, there's turn 4 again, and all of us trying our hardest to avoid that gravel trap. In fact, if anyone watching, if you're a fan of, say, Formula 1, this track appears, I think, pretty much every year at Formula 1. And you'll know just how many drivers end up in that gravel trap. Sometimes, you know, through hard battling, and other times just through lack of concentration, or if they want to use my excuse, lack of skill. But yeah, it's a very popular track though, this, especially in F1. And to be fair, I used to hate it, I'll be honest. Love it now. Absolutely love this track now. One of my favourites. On to the final lap now, and I've rambled on a little bit, I do apologise. So let's get back to this race, and now as you can see, we're still following myself there, and the gap's closed a little bit to the guy behind. It's not what I want. Looking at the top right corner, you can see John, and the guy first has really pulled away now. He's not battling anyone, and because he isn't battling, he's managing to put some more speed down. Which is something that you do lose. Now I went very deep into turn 3 there, and that is going to bring in the Aston Martin, I think it was it behind now? Yeah, the Aston Martin behind us. That's going to bring him back into this race, and I've got to do my absolute best now to try and defend against him, because this is not the sector for me. Sector 2, very curvy, lots of understeer / oversteer, all kinds of steers going on. And that Aston Martin is better in the corners than the Mustang. So I've really got to make this Mustang as wide as I can, but this is going to be very, very difficult. Almost going to pick up a penalty there, I think, just going 2 wheels over the white line. I think I've got away from it, but I'm going to have to go defensive. As here he comes down the outside. Is he going to get around the outside of turn number 9? He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to come back on. Little tap to the side. That's just enough just to put me out when he's got the cutback. And I'll be honest, I can't complain. What a comeback drive from that guy. Well done to him. And yes, he went a little bit wide and did accidentally drive into them a little tiny bit. But you know what? He deserves that. He pulled it off for a minute. So that's all we've got time for. So until next time, see ya.